It's pretty much been a year since the Speedzone driver has come out to market, and I picked up this beauty for £180 off eBay second-hand, pretty much in mint condition. So a year on, how does it fare against everything else in the market? Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here at Lower Henwick driving range, and the majority of the visuals of this video is going to be from me testing this driver from last night, because let's be honest, if you're not doing a review at night time with nighttime ball flights, is it even a review? And briefly before we get into this video, very excitingly, we will be having a launch monitor loaned to us for the foreseeable future. So testing such as this driver, older drivers, wedges, irons, whatever it is, we have reliable data to then also use, so we can do very accurate comparisons. But basically taking the last 2 years of the content on the channel, when I've had a GC2 or when I was product testing new equipment, to now very much being involved in the second-hand market and basically putting it all into one, which is very exciting to me. And I only have to thank you guys for supporting, watching the channel. That now gives me the chances and possibilities to now actually be loaned one of these devices that only can make the content better. So as just a general thank you, well, thank you. So it's almost been a year since I've tested the Speedzone driver against the TaylorMade Sim when they first came out. She thought the Sim driver sounded and looked better. But what is sound and what is looks? Because let's be honest, it's all personal opinion. In terms of performance, both of them performed exactly the same. The great thing about the second-hand market that you really have to factor in is prices fluctuate depending on the manufacturer, depending on how the public gets on with the club, how many people got fitted for a club, and then, you know what, after 6 months didn't get on with it, just got rid of it. Therefore there's abundance of this club and not necessarily others, and that's why it's interesting to me. £180 I got for this Speedzone, and yes, that is an unreal bargain. These probably retail at £250 to £280 depending on condition. This one is in very good condition, doesn't have the Arcos system in the top there, so this very much looks like a custom fitting head and a custom fitting shaft. But overall, without the Arcos, it performs exactly the same. You could argue maybe one swing weight either way because it hasn't got the Arcos in the grip. But if you're really that kind of person, you're not watching the right channel. I thoroughly enjoyed hitting the Speedzone. For whatever reason, a year on later, aesthetically, this actually does appeal to me a lot more. I think it looks a lot better than the F9. And to be honest, in the market that it is at the moment, if you had the choice between the F9 and the Speedzone, the price for me, if it's in good condition, is exactly the same. And without hands down, I feel you should be going for the Speedzone, and this is why. Number one, overall the features, you can't sky it. You've got a milled face that goes over the crown. Therefore, if you are one of these twitchy people that is somewhat hitting down on a driver, you've got a low left to right shot, and you are sometimes able to sky the big stick, then this is the one, because it is milled all the way over the crown. And I think it's ingenious, and I think that drivers realistically, just to save themselves for the second-hand market and condition, should all have a crown going over. Again, this is personal, and a lot of you might think the crown, the face doesn't look great. I don't like the milled face going over, especially if you're a purist of this game, but I think it's just an added feature. And especially the F9 and the Speedzone being so close to the price point in the second-hand market, for me, that alone warrants you should go for the Speedzone. In terms of sound and feel, there's nothing different between the F9 and the Speedzone. Both have a very good hazardous smoke shaft that comes with them, and I do feel the combination between that hazardous smoke shaft and the head outweighed all competition the year 2019 when the F9 came out in 2020. It just felt balanced, it just felt overall steady in my hands. Now this isn't to say it's going to do exactly the same in yours, but I do feel a lot of the long ball machines, let's say your Epic Flash, your TaylorMade M5 when it came out against the F9, they just seem so heavy, they just seem so rigid. And yes, they would produce that one long ball that goes obscene distance because you got 1500 RPM, 14 degrees launch, but the bad shots just weren't outweighed. When I'm hitting the F9s, when I'm hitting the Speedzones, they're very much similar to the Ping side of it, that you've got some kind of forgiveness. I need some spin to get rid of that massive slice or that massive hook that I have in the game. I don't need that stupidly long ball, because let's be honest, 20 yards more distance isn't going to make me score any better. A big factor when you look at the second-hand market, and this is something that I very much take away as well, is that if prices stay the way they are, i.e. the F9 has stayed almost 70% of its recommended retail, even though it's been out 2 years, that's a sign that people are looking for it, trying it and loving it. Therefore the demand's up and the supply is not there. If you see clubs that come out and you get a ridiculous deal on, time over time, they drop 100% of their value, or 50%, just like the Honma TW747. Yes, I've ruined the market in that and now everyone's buying them, but before I made that video, they dropped almost half in price, which goes to show that people got them, didn't like them, put them on, and no one really wanted them either. Yes, I got this for £180, but this is like a unicorn. They don't exist unless you spend as much time trying to find bargains for the content of this channel. Then they do. This was once in a blue moon, and I think it was worth every penny of £230 to £260 that you can get if you're looking for a 2020 driver. It's not going to make you play any better golf, but it's going to look good and give you the best tech of 2020 for half the price that you'd get most retail drivers. I like the idea of doing these kind of reviews a year on. So rather than doing a review when it first comes out, I like to do a look at the club, its price point a year on, and maybe do it 2 years on and so on. And with the launch monitor that's coming to the channel, it's going to be able to give us very much a clarity of numbers, what's happening, what's good, what's not good, and then what price can you get it on the second-hand market. I feel that's a bit new. I feel like that's new content to obviously bring to the channel, and also mix all my kind of different backgrounds. Now I'm pretty sure you can hear it's absolutely pissing it down, so I'm going to cut this video somewhat short, but I think you've gotten the point. I've got to go and package this now, as I need to send it off this morning to get it off to one of the people that's already bought it. Luckily, because of that sky milled face at the top there, it's still in very good condition. Guys, if you like this kind of video, then leave it a like. Subscribe if you're new. Promise the content that is coming is going to be next level. See you guys later.